Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. It is Wednesday, and that means it is Crime Stoppers Day, and we have Chief Deputy Ben Houchin in the 1011 Now streaming studio for kind of another episode of Lancaster Lookout, again, where we kind of go through some of the most wanted individuals in Lancaster County, and we, again, looking for some whereabouts, so looking for some tips. So, yeah, we're going to go through that today, but we want to start with some good news.
Yeah.
And that's one of the individuals we featured on the segment, probably about a month ago now, I think, has been apprehended. So that's good news.
Yes.
Zachary Karlstrom. And can you kind of tell me a little bit about what happened there?
Well, we do know that he got arrested in Howard County, Indiana, on September 21st, 2023. Now, we don't know if us coming on the show helped on that since it's so far away, but it does just kind of show how we can reach out real far, and we will go get these people no matter where they run to and where they hide.
We're gonna say that we helped.
There you go.
It makes us feel good. So that's that. We should probably get like a chalkboard or something behind us so we can like individuals apprehended or cases cleared from Crime Stoppers here in the studio.
I think that's a perfect idea.
We can keep a running tally. I like this idea. I'm going to have to talk to the boss to see what we can do. Okay, so that's the good news. The bad news is we still have more people that we're looking for, and we're always looking for more people. So the first individual, I guess, who do you want to start with, April or Omar?
Yeah, let's start with April.
We're going to start with April. I do like April's name. Her name is April May Holmes, but she did some pretty nasty things. Can you kind of give us the details on April May Holmes?
Well, back on December in 2019, so that's been almost 4 years now. She tried to blow up somebody's house with them inside, is what she ended up trying to do.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No.
That's not a good thing.
No, and then in August of 2000, she was serving an 18-month period of post-release, which I'll be real honest with you, I was a little surprised that that's all she got, and it doesn't sound like she got a whole lot of jail time from that act. But back in September 14 of 2021, she decided she wasn't going to comply anymore and talked to her probation officer. So October 21, they have revoked it. She is wanted on a warrant, and we would really like to find her before she does anything else like that.
Yeah, after you attempt to blow up a house once, we would like to know where you are.
Yes. So if anybody knows where she is, we'd be more than happy to get that information.
And I'm assuming, again, this person, their crime did not involve a gun or anything like that, but obviously their crime involved an explosive device. So if this is someone that you have information on,
give us a call.
And don't try and approach this person.
Right.
Just give you guys a call.
Give us a call, and we would be more than happy to come take care of the issue.
And can you kind of run us through, again, we do it every episode, but again, kind of best practices for making a tip for Lancaster Lookout or for Lincoln Lancaster County Crime Stoppers?
Well, yeah, those are the two big things that if you can certainly call us at the Sheriff's Office at area code 402-441-6500. And, of course, you can always call Crime Stoppers at 402-475-3600. And they'll be more than happy to take your information. And, again, it's all anonymous. And one of the things I'd like to tell folks, too, is there's a way when you do those that if you would like us to be able to communicate with you, we still won't find out who you are. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we have extra questions.
A follow-up question, right?
And that we would like to get clarified. And, boy, if you're more than willing to let us do that, and we greatly appreciate it, because as you can imagine, us cops always have extra questions we'd love to ask.
That's you and our job here in the news building is to ask more questions. Again, I should clarify that our kind of Lancaster Lookout today, these are not necessarily eligible for the reward. Well, actually, I don't know. Are they eligible for the rewards?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if their information gets it there, I don't have any control over how much, but you bet if their information leads to their arrest, I'm sure they'd be eligible.
That's good. All right. Well, I learned something today already. Then, so that's
Fire
good.
some people up, make a phone call.
Yeah. Right. Again. So again, that's our first individual, April May Holmes. Again, attempted to blow up a house with someone inside of it, and again, we are looking for her. Our second individual that we are looking out for is Omar Gregorio Mendez Ortiz. A little bit of a mouthful there,
Yes.
but Omar Ortiz, again, he has had a history going back almost 10 years now. So can you kind of take us through what we're looking for with Omar?
Yeah, he was convicted of a attempted first-degree sexual assault, and it involved a juvenile. And he got deported because of the crime back to Mexico. Well, he returned
Okay.
back to Lincoln, and we were he's a sex offender, and he needs to come in and register, and he has failed to do that. So in August of 22, a warrant has been filed for his arrest, and we just don't know where he is. But I tell you, somebody that's charged with this kind of crime, when it comes to children, I think we can all get behind that. We don't need that. And anybody that has information on him, we'd certainly like to know where he is and get him arrested, no matter where he's at in the United States.
Yeah, and again, you'd be able to explain this better to me. I'm assuming that's one of those crimes that doesn't just happen once. He may have been caught once, but I'm guessing if he's done it once already, he may do it again.
We're certainly concerned, and that's the reason why the sexual registration's out there is so that we can keep an eye on and make sure that bad things don't happen, especially to kids anymore, because they're our prized possessions, and people who prey on them. And we have a reason to take them off the street. We certainly want to do that.
All right, so it's Omar Ortiz, again, a sexual assault of a child, arrested back in 2013, deported back in 2014, made contact again with law enforcement in 2022, and failed to appear for his court appearance, and so his whereabouts are currently unknown as well. So again, if anyone has any information on his whereabouts, contact Lancaster County Sheriff's Office, contact Lincoln Police, Lincoln Lancaster. That's a mouthful.
That is.
Lincoln Lancaster County Crime Stoppers.
And the thing, too, is if somebody sees them up in Omaha, call the Omaha Police.
Yeah.
I mean, wherever.
Just your local authority, wherever you're at.
Whoever has a jurisdiction on that, I promise you, they will be more than happy to come and make that arrest.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that. So, okay, let me see here. So we're talking Lancaster Lookout. You guys have a super handy website. We got it pulled up here right now. It's literally LancasterLookout.com. And so, folks, if they're interested in, again, reviewing these two individuals we just talked about, or any of the other 8 individuals that you guys have listed in your top 10 right now, they can just go to this handy website right here, Lancaster Lookout, with the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. And again, we've talked about this before. These aren't necessarily the individuals who have done the worst crimes necessarily, but we don't know where they are. We're looking to find them.
That is correct. And you know what I love to do is I like to go to that webpage and have them being marked off, and we having to add a new name, because that just means we're doing our job, and people are helping us out
and clearing the cases. And again, there's a couple individuals on here that we've already talked about. The D'Anthony McGuire, I remember Captain Vic and I think talked about him a few weeks back. But there's some new names and new faces on here even since we've started this, so that's good. Yes. That means we're clearing some names off the list.
That is correct. That's what we want to do.
And the other good website, again, I always want to point out, is just the Lincoln Lancaster County Crime Stoppers website. Again, we showed you how you can leave a tip. But again, if you're ever curious or want to look again, if you go to the Lincoln Lancaster County Crime Stoppers website, you just scroll down a little bit. It's right there on the right-hand side, how to leave a tip.
Yeah, and a lot of times there's some just good pictures of people, but we just don't quite know. And I tell you, people will call in and say, hey, this is my neighbor. I know family members have called in on family members and things. So, yeah, it certainly does help us out on those. And that is a great program. And, sometimes they're not the biggest crimes in the world, but, these petty thefts and people breaking into cars or stealing Cadillac converters, it's really inconvenient to the victims.
Yeah, it's quality of life crimes.
Yeah, and it kind of stinks that people are doing that, and we'd like to get it stopped.
No, 100%. And again, it's always, I try and pull it up once or twice a week, just because it is kind of interesting. Obviously we report a lot of the crimes on the news, but we can't report every single one that happens. So it is kind of interesting to see what's going on. You mentioned, again, sometimes it's neighbors, sometimes it's family members. Leaving this tip Can you kind of talk about how this can be a good thing if that individual is then apprehended? They could be stealing because they're, needing to feed a drug habit or something like that. And, sometimes people need to hit rock bottom before they can get the help that they need.
Yes, and that is so true. And, one of the things people do talk about, drugs, it's a victimless crime, but it's not, because this is what ends up happening. People start to steal and do those things, try to do frauds, credit card frauds, and, take mail from people's mailboxes, which you would think, well, that's not a huge crime, but when they get the checks, they forge the checks, and it really messes up people's lives. And you're right. Sometimes they have to hit rock bottom, and sometimes family members just have to let them. It's sad, but you have to let them before, there's two ways to go then, sideways or up, and we just hope they decide to go up at that point in time and get the help they need.
100%. Again, we always talk about, we hear in the news, in some of the big cities about the crime and the issues, and you hear about stores shutting down because of crime and stuff like that.
10 Targets shut down.
Yeah, just that headline came out, I think, just yesterday.
Yes.
And that's not, crime is an issue everywhere. But we don't see issues like that here in Lincoln. And I feel like, again, programs like this, Crime Stoppers, like the Lancaster Lookout, being able to give tips like this is a big reason why we, can keep our community safe.
Yeah, and the county attorney, the city attorney are willing to still prosecute those cases and make people accountable for what they do. Because as you can see in some of those cities, Portland, San Francisco, and Seattle, where they don't make people responsible, these businesses are having to leave, and the true people that get hurt are the law-abiding ones that do live in those communities, because now all of a sudden they don't have a place to shop or go get groceries and all that, and that's just sad, and that really hurts quality of life.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Chief Deputy Houchin again joining us here in the 1011 Now streaming studio, Crime Stoppers. Is there anything else? I mean, we hit our two individuals we're talking about today.
Yes.
We got our good news with the apprehension of Zachary Karlstrom, who was on the segment a couple weeks ago in Indiana.
Yep.
How often do you guys extradite?
Usually anywhere from 80 to 100 a year we go get.
That's more than I thought it would be.
Yeah. I know we've gone up to 120 out-of-state ones. Now, some of them are closer, but we go to both coasts. I know we've gone to Hawaii, and I know we've gone to Alaska to get people. So, yeah, it's all of them, depending on what they do. We will, if it's a major crime, we will make them come back here and answer for them.
Yeah, and we're getting a little into the weeds here, but I have questions.
Sure.
So how does that process work, that extradition process?
Well, they'll ended up getting arrested as a fugitive from justice at that point, and then they get a governor's warrant. So they can waive extradition, or we can have to get the governor's warrant at that point in time to go get them. Most people waive extradition, in that we have like 10 days to go get them usually. And so our court services is responsible for those, and so we have a travel agent if we have to fly. We have vans that we use if we have to drive. We have a great program, and it's called Northwest Shuttle, where agencies help each other. And so one will go to one town, and they'll ride a van all the way, and we go to North Platte a lot, and we'll take people there from other jurisdictions, pick people up from other and put them in our jail, and that's really cost effective for everybody in that. So we try to use that as much as we can, but sometimes you just have to fly, like to Florida. For some reason, the eastern side of the United States isn't as big doing that as the western. So we end up doing that, and we fly armed.
Yeah.
And I've been on a couple of those, and the one thing that's nice, you get on the plane first, but you get stuck clear in the back, and you're the last ones off.
Can't make you too comfortable, I guess.
No, I guess not.
First one on, but last one off.
Yes.
So, okay, that's interesting. So he was arrested in Indiana on the 21st, so there's a good chance he's probably already back.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, good deal. All right, Deputy Houchin, anything else we need to cover today?
No, you know what? Hey, we did, because the last time I was here, right before the volleyball game, and that was such a success. We should just say it. Yeah, and we went out there and worked it, and the games were great. The crowd was unbelievable. The concert was great, and we had very small problems. I was just so impressed, and there was a lot of mothers with daughters, volleyball teams there, and all that, and it was just a beautiful night, and so that was a huge success.
I was sitting in this exact spot watching it, and it was, it just gave you goosebumps.
Yeah.
It was incredible, and it's good to hear that it went off relatively smoothly with everyone in the crowd. So that's good.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, Deputy Houchin or maybe Captain Vic, I'm not sure. They'll join us again in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
As we kind of rotate through LSO, LPD, UNLPD on our Crime Stopper segment. So appreciate you taking the time, coming in and joining us today. Again, as always, appreciate everyone for tuning in and for watching. Again, as always, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of the latest news, weather, and sports. We'll